266, Hotel approach, expect runway 25 left.
CG811 Navy, SoCal departure with a contact on the
339, thank you. Clear visual approach, runway 24 right, I appreciate your help.
3150, Spirit 404 ready.
Clear visual approach, runway 31 left, maintain visual separation, contact tower 123.9 or Endeavour 3748.
4444, turn 10 degrees right, reduce speed 180.
My pilots and co-pilots, Brian here. I'm about to stream a little flight from Abbotsford to Victoria, and today's flight is going to be it's because it's Thanksgiving today. I thought I'd take an hour out to do a little fly around because I'm not at work. So hello to anybody out there. So I see I've got a couple of people on. So I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch today at the same time. Let's see how that works. The little plane I have today is the Twin Otter, the DHC-6. Awesome aircraft. It flies a lot around BC, which is where we're going to be flying. We're using real world weather. Not going to be using any ATC. We're at Abbotsford at the moment. We're in the military parking right now because we are in Royal Canadian Air Force colours on the plane. The scenery is by Canada for X-Plane, who do tons of amazing free sceneries in Canada. So I'm going to step inside and try and fire this beast up. I've only flown it a couple of times before, but I'm going to try and fire this up and plan our route, program it in, get flying, and have a look around at the scenery. Looks like a nice day out there right now. So I'm just going to step inside and try and remember what I've got to do. Okay, I've turned some power on. I'm going to cheat right now. You can, without turning the power on, you can actually get to the GPS to program it up. And actually, first of all, I'm going to look. Here we got Sky Vector here, and I've put the route in. I was going to go from Victoria to Abbotsford, but hello, who else? We've got Mayday going down. That sounds quite a scary name, actually. Right, so we've got we're at Abbotsford, and we're going to be flying in a reverse from that. So we're going to go to the waypoint there is Pemsou, then Liano, and then into Victoria. And we'll see how that goes for landing. I always have a problem with Victoria that for some reason ATIS just doesn't work in X-Plane. You put in 118.8, which is the ATIS there, and you hear nothing. So I never know which runway I'm supposed to be landing on, but we'll deal with that when we get there. So let's just go back. We've got Pemsou is our first point. So we've got CYYX. I'm going to just start programming that in, and then it shouldn't take too long. PE. It's certainly quicker programming this than doing a flight in something like a 737, which is going to be my other choice for today. But that'd be a bit ridiculous doing Abbotsford to Victoria in a 737. PEM. Was it a U? I think it was a U on there. Accept. Right. And the next one is that. Liano. Okay. I do find with X-Plane, before I came to X-Plane, I was on FSX still for years. I was absolutely terrible at learning GPS. I didn't use GPS, I just used to get up in the sky and point myself where I was supposed to go and fly there. But I've actually learnt a little bit on how to use these things now. And it's a lot better experience. Leon, is it Liano? Yes. And accept. And then one more to go. So go back this way to C. Y. Y. I reckon it'll be another couple of minutes. Oop, and I'll be up and flying. CYYJ. Enter. There we go. Oop, I don't want to do anything else. Right, I have a flight plan programmed in. I can get that out of the way. And I'm going to try and get this plane powered up. So it's a pretty awesome looking plane. I'm going to, so I've put the master on. Igniters on. I might have had stuff left from the last time I flew this. I'll open the fuel flow up right now. I don't have my yoke set up to date, which I really should for flying this plane. Right, let's have a look up here. I'll put the generators on ready. I'm mentioning it's a long pull on these. There we go. Put my position and anti-collision lights on. The rest I'll do once I get started. And let's see if I can remember how to start this thing. So if I remember rightly, I have to, somewhere down here, I have to switch these on. Okay, now come up to I think they should already be on. Do I have enough stuff set to be able to kick the engines over and get fired up? Yeah, let's give it a go, shall we? Oh, let's put my strobe lights on because I'm starting up. Where was that switch? Did I miss it? Nope, that's generators. Okay, let's have a... Let's try that again. Can't seem to grab the switch. Okay, we're up and running. Is it showing me? No. It's making lots of noise, but I don't see any. No. That's disappearing, isn't it? What did I miss? Do I need those on as well? Oh, I should have had a practice, shouldn't I? That's on, that's on. Those can be off for now. It's easier to get 737 going, I think. Let's give it another go. Let's give it another go, shall we? Right, come up there. Try the left engine this. Nope. No, there's something horribly wrong with my plane. What's going on? Do they have to be down to be on? Let's try again. Nope. This might be a short stream today. I've got fuel. My throttles are set. If anybody's got any idea why I can't get this plane going, maybe I need to jump start it. Maybe I've got these switches the wrong way around. Maybe I'd left them on from the last flight. That's probably what it was. I've not got any fuel going in. So, let's try that again, shall we? Let's switch to start the right this time. Nope. It's not even animating correctly. One last try before I kill this and give up. Is my plane dead? Okay, something's terribly wrong with my plane. I'm terribly sorry, everybody, but I think I'm going to have to go away, figure out what the hell's wrong, and come back. Because it don't work. Need my fuel boosts. That's off. Nothing set down there that I'm missing. My ram air's closed. Fan doesn't. None of that matters. What's going on? Power's on. Landing lights are off. Igniters are on. It's not that, is it? I forgot my battery setting there. It is. Brian, you idiot. Right. Sorry, everybody. Let's try this now. Got to click around a bit. Like, this plane's got set up some dubious zones on it. Just try switching away and back. Nope. And now I can't click. Yeah, click on that. Coming at it from a different angle. Oh, did you see that? Nearly. Wow, is this ever fussy? Now I can't start my aircraft because I can't grab the switch. Come on. Come on. I might have to cheat in a minute. How do you grab a switch that doesn't want to be grabbed? Let's try it from a different view. Come on. This is nuts. I can turn on every other bloody switch. There you go. That's how we do that. Well, that feels... I feel dirty doing that, but... is it going to start? It's not even going to work that way. I think this is what they term the business an epic fail, is it? Right, let's try it. Oh, I see. Do they just magically start running anyway? What the... Oh, I got one engine running. That just magically came alive. Eh? Just the one, though. I don't think we're going to be able to fly on that. I still can't start this flipping engine. But I got one. Maybe I should have picked a plane that I'm more used to flying. I just thought this one would be fun. I haven't flown it in some time. But I apparently just get the one engine today. Yeah, it's working just fine. It sounds great. Come on, Brian, get this one running. Nope, it's just not going to work for me today. Or maybe... It doesn't seem to make any difference. Well, I'm not very impressed with this aircraft right now. There's absolutely no difference between the two engines. Let's try that again. I've never had to cheat doing that before. I feel dirty. Okay. Now it looks better. Yeah, look at that. But for some reason the switches stopped responding, so I've had to cheat. Okay. So, just we've got our route programmed in. I'm going to see if I can fly this thing. Okay, what's our... Let's just go to here. I got information on... No, that's all CYYJ. I'm not sure what... let's bring up my map. Let's zoom in. Details. So, altimeter's 3025. CYYJ, so it's 119.8, okay. Got to pull my radios on. And that can go on too. Will it go on? Oh, this plane's very fussy about where you click, isn't it? 119 point. Nope. There we go. Let's tune the radio in and listen.
Abbotsford information X-ray. 0 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 22,000 few. Temperature 14. Dew point -11. Altimeter 3025. Arriving runways 2519. Departing runways 0701. Advise on initial contact you have X-ray.
Okay. Let's just zoom in here. 3025, so that's pretty high pressure. A bit further. About there. Okay. My landing lights aren't, well no, I don't need my landing lights yet. My taxi lights, they're up here somewhere. Let's just say they didn't design these aircraft in those days with a lot of thought in mind for ergonomics for the pilot. So we are here. That's a long way to go to... So apparently... What's... Is it trying to start my engine again? I might have to look at that in a minute. That's going to be annoying for the flight if it keeps starting the engine. So I'm going to have to go up there, around the outside and down, and then take off. I'm going to use in this direction. Okay. Both my engines are definitely running. What do my systems look like? Everything is good. So why does it keep trying to... My igniters are off. Is it because that's crashed and stuck? Well, we'll see. I'm not sure why that was off, but... Okay. Brakes off. And away we go. Oh, my moving map thing's good. Hold on. That's it. Away we go. I would check for traffic, but there's no point. I have no AI turned on. And I don't have world traffic yet. I've tried the demo, but it looks pretty complicated right now. So hold on, let's just check on where I'm going. Okay. I'm going up here. This is a really cool airport, this. It's good scenery. Canada for X-Plane. They're doing some really good free sceneries for Canada right now. Try and keep me straight. It's a bit twitchy. Straighten up there. It's a nice clear day. Hopefully it's not getting dark by the time we arrive. Okay, we're going across because I'm going to be taking off up here. So I just need to come over there. We get to go past all these buildings. There's custom buildings and stuff at this airport. It's pretty neat. Yeah, the sun's pretty low in the sky there. Sorry, I didn't want to be stuck inside. I want to see the nice view. Whoa. Except it's not as easy to drive when you're outside. Okay, let's try and get us back on the centre line again there. Okay, so there's a hangar there, there's some planes. There's a control tower. There we go. Back over here. I wonder how accurate this is to the airport. Probably pretty good. Their scenery is usually pretty good. Ooh, yeah, let's get back in. That's just horrible. So therein lies my problem with streaming. I find is that when things screw up, you can't just cut the video and re-record it. Everybody sees that you're sitting there not knowing what you're doing. They're very grey, aren't they? Those jets. This looks like the textures haven't worked on them. Okay, we're nearly at the other end now. Now I do have all real world settings on right now, so if I overspeed I will tear the flaps off. So if that happens, I apologise. Okay, where do I need to go? Is it that turning there? No, I need to go straight ahead. So apart from my starting disasters, then this aircraft is actually fairly nice. Comes with skis versions, with floats versions, so I've been able to do some flying. I've even done some flying in the Antarctic, made a video on that. Flying. Oh, there we go, it's starting again. There's something funny going on with this aircraft today. But other times it's flown okay when I've flown it. It's been a while. Yeah, sorry I'm having a rough go. Thanks for the... Yeah, not my best day for flying, but... Ooh, and I haven't even swung around far enough. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to get going. Yeah, I think there's an electrical problem too. Yeah. What I might do... That's pulling almost as if the left engine's not operating there, look. But it is. Well, let's see. If I go up to here... I'm going to edit failures, fix all systems, and apply changes. I'm not sure if that will have solved it, but we'll see. Okay. Yeah, the ortho I've got generated for this area is not the best. Bing is really lacking in doing Canada right now, so it's really fuzzy. It's a bit better when I get nearer Victoria. Okay, I want to sort of reach about 8,000 today. Let's see if we can... Flaps over speed. There you go, I've damaged the plane again. Forgot to retract them all the way in. That's another quirk of this plane. It doesn't have stepped flaps, so when I hit the flaps button it doesn't bring them all the way in. You actually have to hold it for the amount of time you want to return them, so I'm going to have to fix that as well. There you go, great cheat. So we're on our way. What's it estimating? 8 minutes to reach our... was this somebody saying? You may need to also rerun all scripts, probably. But well, I'm not going to do that today. So we're flying into the sun. Not the best. But, oh well. Oh, I know. I wasn't... yeah, I know I should, but I'm going to wing it. I could put the autopilot on in a minute so I can have a look outside, but knowing my luck, that'll go wrong today. So there you go. The ortho's a bit rough looking around here, but it's not too bad. There we go. You see the wheels were spinning there. I'd forgotten to touch the brakes after takeoff. Another amateur error. So we're kind of heading towards Vancouver's up over there. Got the coastal mountains there. Strait of Georgia, Vancouver Island in the distance. So we're at 4,000 feet. It's climbing. Despite the engines making those continual startup noises, everything looks good. Good oil pressure, temperature's good. It's a bit hazy, but it's alright. We're going over huge amounts of farmland right now. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at about 5 when we get there, because we'll be there before we know it. I think the only problem with resetting the plane is it might have reset. Okay, landing lights are off now. Reset them. Taxi lights can go off. There we go, we're coming up on the coast already. So it should be White Rock, I think, down to our left sort of area. We'll just be cutting across a little bit of the states. I think if I go back and look at the map, so we're actually coming up here away from it, but when we do this bit here, that's actually the US airspace there, so we'll be cutting across. And again, I've got it trimmed badly right now. Let's see if I can adjust the trim. Oh, some clouds suddenly came in. It was a little sudden. I use the NOAA plugin and SkyMax Pro for the weather part, but the NOAA plugin was where I get my weather injected. It's that Boundary Bay down there. I can see the lights around the distance. And that's probably YVR, Vancouver Airport, just behind the wiper there. There it, oh. That's where that is. That must be Boundary Bay. Let's have a look on a map, shall we? Yeah, there's YVR in the distance. Okay. How lucky do you think I'll be with the autopilot today? Probably not very. Yeah, I'm a bit off track here. I could try it. What do you reckon? Oh. Did that work? Oh, it did. Let's try that again. So what's it doing? Why is it pitching me down then? So I selected altitude and I've got 8,000 set on here, but I don't think it's listening to that. This plane's not well today. Let's just oh, I've got some scenery issues. One of my libraries is out of date. So yeah, we're going to be coming south of YVR. Actually don't want to climb much more, I don't want to go into the cloud, I want to just stay VFR below the cloud. We are kind of heading into the restricted airspace area, though we would kind of just be skirting it really. It's okay. I'm turning that off. Even though I have set no altitude on there, I'd turn that off on the autopilot, making me climb. There are bugs in the plane today. I've never had that happen before. So I'm going to come back down to where I wanted to be originally. So we'll just stay below the cloud. Round we go. Not quite the nice sunny day I was hoping for the flight, but that's what it's like outside right now. There's more cloud than we expected. So yeah, the autogen scenery, not autogen, ortho actually is a little clearer here as we come in towards Vancouver. Try and hold that. So we're just skipping under the clouds right now. That actually looks pretty cool. Although there's something I hate with Sky Vector is as I move there, can you see the clouds twisting? That's just terrible. So yeah, we're just at 5,000, just under 5,000. That's obviously the cloud layer. And we're turning now to head slightly south again now. Oh, there goes the engine trying to start up again. So I'm kind of flying by hand, I'm not using the autopilot, which is why we're deviating up and down something chronic. I find on my joystick sometimes altitude control is very difficult, it's very sensitive. It's great for jet fighter type flights, but the yoke's a lot better, but that's up on my shelf today. So we're at under 4,000, but it means I can now see clearer and below the cloud. So how long till our next waypoint? 9 minutes. Again, the engines are going crazy, but in reality the engines are reporting back they look good. Let's have a look outside, shall we? They're fairly level. So I can see a YVR all lit up there in the distance. This must be Boundary Bay. There's some crazy busy lights going on there. How are we doing on our route? Am I slightly off to the left? This isn't the most direct route. So let's try this again. This is a payware aircraft, and I will say it's never gone wrong like this before. But I have been installing lots of other scripts and stuff over the last few days and generally messing around with X-Plane. So I don't know if that's messed me up for today. I bought it in the big sale, the X-Plane sale earlier this year on the xplane.org site. And it has been really fun to fly, but I haven't flown it for a couple of months. I've been hooked on the Zibo 737, learning how to fly that, and I've forgotten how to do it, but there's something weird going on today. But that's the first time something weird like that's happened, and it has been a lot of fun to fly. I've done snow landings with it, water landings with it. So I'm just kind of keeping track with the flight plan. I'm not dead over the top of it, but that's okay. I think it was V-Flight did this one. I can't remember. I'd have to look that up. But again, climbing ridiculously again. I'm just trying to look it up on my phone to see what the details are of this plane. RW Designs, that's who did it. It says it's $28, but I think in the sale I got it for $19.95, which I thought was good value. And I've actually did a video on my YouTube channel about this because I've got lots of photos of these things from the end of the 60s and the early 70s, because my father-in-law was actually down in Antarctica as part of the research stuff there. And they used to fly in and out in Twin Otters, all painted in the orange livery that they use flying in the Antarctic. And they would land them on the snow and he's got some amazing photos, and he had some amazing stories when he was alive. And so I kind of fly this thing. I especially like flying around Antarctica. There is actually scenery for Antarctica, and it's sort of like understanding just how remote and how dangerous it was, what they used to do down there. I mean, there's still research stations down there, but I think things are a little bit more organised and a little less, well, treacherous than in the past. They can be there all year round with those places, whereas some of theirs had to be shut up because the winters were so severe. Okay, we're just leaving the mainland now. And somewhere around there is Torsen Ferry Terminal. Okay, now I can come around slightly to track about 210. So we're actually not far out really now. Four minutes, and then our approach into CYYJ. Which, while we've got some quiet time here, yeah, look at me, look. I couldn't fly in a straight line if my life depended on it. Details. 3021. So, can I keep this thing steady? Well, we'll see. So I think we'll do a visual coming into runway 27. Oh yeah. So of course, for those of you who aren't watching this live, there's somebody said I live half the year in Melbourne. One of my friends worked there as well. There's a huge orange ship that takes them from Hobart, Tasmania, to the location. Yeah, I mean, it's a big concern now with people down in Antarctica. I mean, when my father-in-law did it, it was only the end of the 60s, the start of the 70s. They didn't have modern equipment. It was quite amazing, and it looks totally of the time of explorers. You know, there were fur-lined clothing. They had dog teams, so they'd be out on like wooden sleds with dog teams. I would have said it looked more like 1920 than 1970, but that's how it was. Yeah, now it's usually they go out there with ships. They have year-round facilities for the research and whatever else they do down there. But yeah, it was epically frontier back in the day, and not that long ago, really. I mean, I know he had stories of where there were certain flights they do which were further than the Twin Otters could actually fly, but they had stashes of aviation fuel, and they would have these big stacks of oil drums and the pump and manual pumps so that they could pump it into the wings and carry on flying. But they'd snow over them, so they wouldn't be able to find them. So what they'd do is they'd have this huge pole sticking out the top, and the pilot and, well, anybody else on board would be roped into getting binoculars out and looking at the ground to find where the orange pole was, and from that they would land, which involved doing several passes over the snow until the pilot would feel with each landing. He would basically skim the snow and feel whether it was going to be good enough to land on. Land the plane, making so, because each of those kind of feel is there a crevasse or it's uneven. Eventually land the plane by the oil drums, get out the shovels, dig down to the oil drums, and then connect up, pump it in, and then get the plane going again. which is insane, where if they didn't find it, then they're going to land and be stuck there. And probably no chance of rescue, so... Oh! Wow. So yeah, the real world weather just changed that, and that was a bit horrible. But yeah, they would fly these things with the expectation that they would figure out where to actually find these oil drums in which they could continue their flight. So I'm actually going to be landing on runway 27, which is in this direction. So although a flight plan from Liano, which I guess is on Galliano Island, is taking us straight towards Victoria, I'm actually going to come over to the left here so that I can do an approach in and land. Yeah, so all these planes used to land on snow, so the pilots would do these approaches where they would do multiple passes until they were confirmed that the snowpack was strong enough to take an aircraft. And of course, if you got it wrong or there was a crevasse, then the plane would go down the crevasse. So with my timings here of the flight, although I've set real world weather, I've got it as an evening flight because I thought the lighting would be more interesting. Oh, and the weather's just changed again. Great. But we're staying under the line of it, that's good. We are flying VFR kind of as such, and I want to stay below the level of the cloud. But I think this proves I would make a pretty poor real world pilot. I've been deviating my altitude something chronic. Haven't kept on my route that I was planning. So many islands here and it's so beautiful. I happen to live up the coast somewhere around there, so I do know the area. I love it. I think there are over, is it between 6,000 and 8,000 islands around Vancouver Island. So there's CYYJ, Victoria, in the distance. But again, there's no ATIS, so I can't really find out what would be the valid runway. But that's the runway we're going in on, it's 27. I'm actually going to tune my navs. Save me doing it. We're still just drifting just below the clouds. Definitely evening time. And overcast as well. Taking me a while to fly this last little bit here. And it's just starting to get dark, it feels. I'm going fast enough, let's just put a foot down so we can get down there. Make sure my landing lights are on. Well, we seem to do the rest of the flight from Abbotsford really fast, and suddenly we're getting nowhere flying this last bit. But I'm at the upper end of my speed range. And there's Twin Otter. At least the engine stopped spinning up now. It was a very strange bug. So we're just tracking Victoria there, I can see it. We're staying just below the cloud line. We should be back in Canadian airspace now. We're over US. I have no ATC running though. It's all down to me. So I'm imagining they'd kind of vector us in somehow. We're at just 4,000. I think I will bring us down to 3 now. And then we'll just slowly start our descent here. There's a few boats and things out down there, I think. Down we come. Start scrubbing some speed. So many islands, is that? Almost looks like a little runway down there. Oh. I'm going to go and look on the map afterwards and find out what that is. We're at 3,500 feet. And descending. Keep it coming. Well, after such a disaster at my start, this is not a bad flight. Makes you realise how much slower the flight is when you're not zooming around in some big jet. I cover the distance very quickly. A bit of shimmy on the weather there. Okay. 3, and then bring it down to about 2. Try and get my speed down now and not tear my flaps off at the last minute. Bringing the throttles down a bit. Okay, level off at 2. When I say level off, I mean probably deviate all over the place, but I'm going to start turning. I'm going to do a gentle turn here. Try not to lose too much more altitude just yet. we are. Ease back on the stick a bit there. Funny light now. A lot of light through the clouds, but it's pretty dark below it. Ease back again. I'm still descending too much right now. Below the glide slope. So I need to go up and left is basically what that's telling me. Now I'm pretty much swing this around. We're going to be off to the left slightly, but that's alright, I'll adjust back in a minute. And we're below the glide slope. I'll try and keep my nose up for a minute. Get back on the glide slope. Okay, yeah, my turn was a bit too gentle because we're now off to the left. Oh look, the engine's just decided to try and start again. I'm going to ease out a bit of flap. We can keep going slow. I have no idea how much. I could look up there, but I'm not going to. Right, we're still off to the left, so come across a little. So we're pretty much on the glide slope now, but we're just off to the left slightly. We're coming back. I can just see the pappies in the distance there, and it looks like reds and whites, so we're not doing too bad. A little bit below the glide slope, but I'm happy with that. Here we go. That's got to pull to the right slightly, so we I always feel so ashamed with my approaches that they look terrible, or I feel that they're terrible, but then when you re-watch them from outside, they don't look too bad. And there we come. See, we're almost on the centre line now, easing it over. Again, slightly below the glide slope, not too worried. Not too worried. It's a bit awkward with the sun basically in our eyes. Okay, we seem to have suddenly shot across the line, so we're slightly to the right. Oh, look at that, there's that sound effect playing again of my engine starting up, even though they're running. Some weird stuff going on today. My landing lights are already on. Put some flap down. Our speed is down at an acceptable level for landing. These things are pretty brutal, these Twin Otters. They take a lot of abuse in the world, and that's why they're so useful. Them and the Beaver. Single engine Otters, Twin Otters and the Beaver. I mean, de Havilland made some great aircraft for challenging flying situations. Now we're slightly above the glide slope there. Our speed has increased. We'll be alright. There we go, we're back on line. The crosshairs are pretty much near enough for me. Need to come down a little. Down a little. Straighten up. Down we come. a bit of traffic on the highway there going up to the ferry terminal. I always feel like we're approaching this slightly too low. Like I'm going to leave wheel marks on the top of the vehicles as I go by, but we're not. Okay, we're fairly good on the centre line, but we are slightly above the glide slope. Now we're on target, slightly below. We'll be alright. My engines are idle pretty much as I come down. Okay, feet. That's it, straighten up a bit. A little bit of a crosswind, I can feel that. And we're down. Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm just going to freewheel for a minute. Where am I supposed to be going? I actually should have looked that up. We're going to do that big terminal up over there. So we should cross the other runway there. There we go, the engine's starting up yet again. That's some weird quirky stuff going on there. Okay. Take the next turn off after this runway. There we go. There we go. I see the yellow line. Well, thanks for those of you that went flying with me, and it was a bit of a weird disaster. Plane was misbehaving, but I've no doubt I've done something, installing some new scripts that have resulted in it behaving weirdly like that. Let's have another look. Okay, yeah, I'm going to come down to here. And we'll find somewhere to park this beast. Bit of a strange weather day. Yes. Actually, you know what? Ooh. I'm just going to put it over here. Ooh. That was terrible. Again. I'm just going to bring it in there. And we're parked. So the little flyby view of it. There we go. There we are running. We're parked. Park brake is on. We're at CYYJ, Victoria. Another Canada for Explained Scenery. It's very cool. And again, the sound effect plays of the engine starting. So I'm going to bring the flaps back up there. Then I shall switch back inside. I'm going to turn my landing lights off. So thanks again for flying. Or coming with me on that weird and wonderful flight. I don't know what's up with my plane, but that's for another day. I bet you the next time I load it up it'll be fine. That'll never happen again. Only when I'm streaming. Oh, I'm going to shut the power off. There we go. No fuel going through. Let's turn my lights off. Everything's pretty much dead now. That off and main battery off. Plane is now dark. The engines are off. Lights are off. Batteries are off. Park brake is on. There we go. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to finish my stream now. I don't know, if you like this stupid stuff I do, you can follow me on Twitch, you can subscribe on YouTube, I post lots of videos on there. Laminar Flow Gaming. So anyway, thanks for watching. You have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you again soon.